Good morning. It's Wednesday, September 17, 2014. UPBOptionMillionaires.com. It's about 20 minutes before the market's going to open, and I'm just going to do a really brief market video. We have the Federal Reserve today. We have Janet Yellen, so that's going to kind of make it tough to determine where the market's going to head short term until we hear what she has to say and what bubble she's going to pop. Supposedly bubble, but when you get a stock like FedEx this morning ripping to new record highs, I mean, it's not like they're some social media stock. This is a company that we all know that's been around for a very long time, that actually has revenues, employees, and profits soaring to record highs. Yeah, I guess it's a bubble, right? It's all a bubble until it's not, and it's not a bubble until it is. But nonetheless, the trend remains to the upside, and it's amazing to me, continuing through the theme that we've seen since the lows in 2009 of everybody and their brother and sister and uncle and cousin trying to call a top in this market. Ooh, it's the Alibaba top. That's the new theme these days. Alibaba. Ooh, everybody's selling to raise capital to buy Alibaba. Well, they didn't get the memo yesterday as stocks ripped to the upside. So apparently buying is selling these days. I don't know. You figure it out. Ask the people who are saying that the market's selling off because they're raising capital for Alibaba. And if you look at this chart pattern short term, of course, we'd like to see a longer term pattern to be a little more reliable. This is a beautiful bull flag. Hello, flagpole. I mean, this is about as flagpole as you get. Of course, a little crooked. Can't put a level up to it. It's not perfectly straight. Nonetheless, that's a pole. This is a flag. And to me, it looks like we're going to break out. Possibly, could you imagine we break out to record highs today after Janet Yellen comes out? Remember, she talked down social media stocks last time. Probably going to be a little more cautious about what she says, but I don't know. Maybe she's ambitious, or maybe she's closed out her shorts in social media and she's going to go long social media. Who knows? But nonetheless, I like some individual names here. And if you look at stock, I mean, just look at the market in general, and I brought this chart up continually. You can just draw a trend line across this, the Abenomics trend line that we continue to bounce off of since the lows in November of 2012. Each time has been a great buying opportunity. It looked like we were going to pull back possibly to this trend line. Would it be about the 1940s, the S&P 500 futures? We didn't. We're reversing. And to me, you look at that flagpole and everything that's going on, it looks very bullish to me for a possible break to record levels. That's what I see short term. I also was looking at Apple longer term. I brought this up. A lot of people talking about Apple these days because it's at record, just off record highs, and calling for a decline like we saw back here, September 2012, where we declined, put in a nice W bottom, and I said at this point we'd make new record highs. Everyone was laughing because they thought Apple at this point in time was going to be the next Microsoft and just whittle-waddle around the same price for 5 years. It's moved higher, and to me, Apple looks like it's going to continue to the upside, and this is leg number 3. Leg 1 was from the internet bubble to 2009 financial crisis, and then the financial crisis of September of 2012, and then the next leg here starting in May of 2013. Up until now, we're going to continue up for another couple of years and hit new record highs and continue to baffle the bears. And a stock that's baffled the bears really for quite a while, U.S. Steel, which really doesn't make any sense in the context of this sluggish economy. You've got a steel stock breaking out. You've got a shipping company, FedEx. That's a bubble stock, isn't it? I mean, come on, it's bubbles these days. Bubbles. So anybody who's ignored all the bubble talk and just went long stocks and bought calls and traded the trend, you're making money. Those that have been continually bearish and can keep calling for a pullback in stocks, they're either playing with fake money, trying to update, get hits to their website. People sign up for their newsletter, but they certainly aren't making money in this market. So look at U.S. Steel, and I talked about this at the start of the year and into April, this trend line, this long-term trend line. Now, previously $180 stock back in the financial crisis, just before the financial crisis. So if we see U.S. Steel put in this kind of move to the downside, pretty sure the top is in for the marketplace. We'll see. But right now, look at it. U.S. Steel is rallying in spite of what you would consider a weak economy. I mean, you don't see steel being put together all over the place, do you? So to me, steel is kind of bullish for the economy, don't you think? If things are getting torn down, there would be a surplus, excess of steel, and U.S. Steel wouldn't be doing so well. Nonetheless, U.S. Steel is up almost near $50 this morning. This is a great breakout. I was talking about this trend line. It was at about $27, and you pull up a yearly chart, you see a little more clearly what I'm talking about. Look at this. We were channeling. We finally broke out at about the $25 level, 27 the flag, and then boom, it's been on like Donkey Kong. We're up to 26. The stock is up some 98% for the last 52 weeks, and 60% since it broke this level here. So U.S. Steel. Same reason why I like Whole Foods, because I think Whole Foods is bottomed here. Look at this nice candle yesterday, up almost 2%. Whole Foods is going to be a U.S. Steel type stock. I hate to say it, it's not a growth stock, but they're still, I think it's undervalued. And same with U.S. Steel. Nobody really liked it at the under $20 level, and Goldman Sachs is out this morning upgrading the stock when it's at the $46 level. So isn't that always how it works? Same with Apple. Everyone was downgrading the stock at the lows, and guess what they're doing now? Although I'm not saying it's the highs, we might get a pullback in Apple, but nonetheless, the long-term theme for Apple, in my opinion, is still bullish. So I'm expecting Whole Foods to do a similar type move. Stocks you're looking at, we have oil gaining. We have CRR, which I continue to like here at the support level. To me, it's kind of, and you can look, we're starting to roll to the upside here, curl over. This is a beautiful chart here. I'm looking for a spike up. We might get to the 125, 130 level. Yeah, and US Steel one is at 26 bucks, and I was saying it was going to 40 bucks in a couple months. That was pretty crazy too. So crazier things have happened, and I just want to tell you, I am wrong. I am wrong quite a bit. I'm not the perfect trader, but then again, I don't go back in Twitter and deleting my posts that were wrong. You can go back in Twitter and just see just how wrong I am, and I'm not too proud to admit that I'm wrong. If that makes any, if I said that right. I also like Priceline. I'm still in the calls. I like Priceline here. Look at that nice candle here. Again, if the weakness continues, I see it going no lower than 11.10. But again, what do I know? The chart looks like it's consolidating here in this channel, and there's no reason to believe it can't bounce here. Look at this. We're just getting into the oversold territory. We started to bounce yesterday. This could be a nice move up in the short term for Priceline. Again, I still like Google. Google had a strong day yesterday at 1%. We got to get back up over this trend line if we do the stock. And look, in the whole context of it, this is a weekly chart. It's consolidation here before we move up to record highs. All right, UPB, the trading session is going to start in a little bit. I got to get to work, but nonetheless, that's just my short-term opinion. I mean, look at some stocks, the financials. Look at Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs is breaking out. Look at that. JP Morgan Chase, I said when it was at 54, I said I was going to head to the top of the channel, hit the 60, and look at it. Beautiful, beautiful. JP Morgan Chase got a lot more room to go, especially if interest rates continue to creep higher. But right now we have TLT bid pretty nicely. Remember TLT? I was talking about TLT. The top here at 119 short term. We pulled back. We're starting to get a bid here. Maybe we'll get back up to 115, but the trend seems to be down for the time being. Although if you look overseas, interest rates continue to plunge. A tremendous demand for bonds, especially in Germany, which is helping to raise interest here for bonds, which, I mean, the whole circle jerk is working fabulous. So why fight it? Why fight it? Why continue every single day of the week to call a top, short this, short that? Enjoy it, bask in it. And you know what? When it's time to sell, we'll all be on the same boat together too. We'll be following the trend to the downside. For now, don't be stupid. Don't fight the trend. And you know what? If you're not comfortable buying all the all-time highs, sit on your hands. Watch the market rip, and then when, who knows, 2 months, 2 years, 5 years from now, when the market starts to crash like it did back in 2008 and 2000, hop in. Buy the, go crazy, but don't fight the trend. All right, UPB here. Don't fight the trend. It's like that sign. Don't drink and drive. I'm going to have to make that with a little circle through it. I'll put trend and I'll put the, all right. UPB, I'm off the soapbox. I'll see you in the chat room at optionmillionaires.com. Everyone, have a great trading session. Can't wait to see Yellen. She's my girl. I love her. Goodbye.